Voice actor panel time. How y'all doing?
And you thought you got rid of us.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Who is ready to see some MLP voice actors? There we go. Well, how about that? We got them in the back. 3 amazing VAs. Let's get them on stage. How about that?
Let's do it.
So the first one is a dapper gentleman with an awesome hat. Yup. Peter New. Hey, you got a Hardee's shirt. Or Carl Jr., as they call it here in California. The Steven Universe, right? That's what it is. Do you watch the show?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that show.
Nice. Very good. How are you doing today, Peter?
I'm really well. How are you guys doing?
Doing just
Great.
fine.
Sweet. How are you guys doing? I love it when people are woo.
Woo! Woo! I'm woo! We're going to bring up the next voice actress to the stage. It is Andrea Libman.
My colleague is sitting on his phone. Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing just fine. Ready to get this panel on the road. And our last VA is Miss Rena Anakwe. Or Anakwe. Rena, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing just fine. Good to see you all again.
Likewise.
How was your Friday?
It was intense. I saw some of you guys. I saw some of you morning to night. This was awesome. Yeah.
Any cool stories?
Peter was there.
Yeah, I was there.
Peter was there.
Cool story.
Yeah.
Cool story.
All right, so the focus of this panel, because last time we did this, it ran a little short, and we want to make sure we provide a lot of time for the Q&A from the audience, to which we will have a microphone in the middle, and we'll filter the questions y'all can ask the VAs. So we're just going to ask a few questions ourselves, and then we'll get to you all. So, let's ask some unique questions. How about that? Okay.
I got a starter question here.
Oh, you do?
This one was actually suggested to me, and it's going to Andrea. We've been hearing apparently a lot on social media about a puppy.
A puppy?
Oh, yeah.
So how's the dog doing?
She's good. She's a year now. I have a golden retriever puppy named Mindy. She's just turned 1, and I love her.
So
I
you
miss her. I wish she was here, because I keep seeing all these dog parks and dog-friendly everything here in San Diego, so...
Is it true that every time you buy a golden retriever, it comes with a vacuum cleaner?
it should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never vacuumed so much in my life. Twice a day, usually.
Wow.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Well, now I gotta know, since we're on the topic. Peter, do you have any pets?
Yeah, I have I sort of inherited it recently, but he's a Chihuahua Yorkie cross named Jake. He's 10 years old and he's adorable.
Oh. Yeah. Rena, how about you? Any pets?
I don't. It's really hard to have pets in Brooklyn and New York, right? And none of the dogs bark. It's trained out of them. So it's not, so it's like, when I hear dogs bark, I'm like, what does that mean? What are you doing? So yeah, it's a little difficult. I had plants. Is that valid? I have succulents they're no longer with us. So I need to work on that. Plants or pets? You guys decide for me. I'll go with it. Plants? Okay, thank you.
Get a cactus.
We don't trust you. Point taken.
All right, indulge me. I have quite the fanboy question. Okay, so you all familiar with Disney, correct? Okay,
Disney.
Ever heard of it? No? It's kind of a big deal. All right, so with the collection of animated Disney movies, which ones, if it was up to you, would you want to voice in?
Oh, any of them.
Any of them? Are there any favorites, though?
The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid?
I used to work at a store that sold cartoon merchandise and stuff, and I'm most familiar with Aladdin because we would just put it on over and over and over and over and over. So I kind of know that one the best, so I kind of gravitate to it for that reason.
I mean, I like The Princess and the Frog. I don't think that got a lot of shine, right? Yeah. So that'd be awesome. But I always like Anastasia too. Like I really, and Prince of Egypt. Sorry, not all of them are coming out. Clearly, I watched a lot of Disney. You know, if Fantasia wanted to add in voices, I'd be.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Right? That'd be cool. We were forced to watch that when I was growing up. I went to an all-girls school, and you would, if your parents were working, and my parents were working, you would get left on the half days. And for some reason, they thought that was a suitable movie to put on for children that got left. And their parents couldn't pick them up. Fantasia. No. Torturous, that is. Every year. So I would love to be inside of that. Since it's already.
You know it so well.
I know it so well.
I remember once there was an art house theater near where I grew up, and I remember once going there and writing them a letter saying, could you please just quit playing this crap that you bring, and instead, could you show the Aristocats? Seriously, that's good.
Well, speaking of like Aladdin, I'm thinking about Robin Williams. Are there any voice actors that inspire you? You know, I aspire to be this person, or they are what got me into voice acting, perhaps.
Yeah, for me, Mel Blanc probably is the one that got me in, and then some of the Simpsons actors and stuff as well. For me, it was when I realized that it was like the same person could do so many voices. I thought, I'll never be able to do that, but I'll try. And here I am, getting there.
I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, I've watched a lot of animated series and characters like throughout my life, but I think that, Michael Dobson is the person that kind of like coached me in the beginning, so I really just have such an appreciation for him, and he voices a lot of people. And just our conversations are just so crazy. It's like 50,000 people in a room, and it's just two of us, so I always appreciate him for that. And actually, whenever I get to record with you guys, too, it's just like so much fun. But I really appreciate Cree Summer, right? Because I didn't know how many voices that she really does. So when I found out, I was like, oh my gosh. And so I've been watching her since she was on A Different World, right? So I didn't even make that connection until later. But yeah.
And she's so nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so that's the thing, too. I just like meeting everybody, too, because everyone has generally just been really great to me because I'm newer a bit. So yeah, I'm still discovering more people and whatnot.
Pass.
So one thing that during yesterday's panel that kind of caught my ear was when we were talking about difficult voices you guys have had to do in the past. You mentioned how sometimes people come up with things on the spot, and sometimes they're really strange. I was wondering about kind of what some of the stranger, more obscure type of requests you've received as far as like, oh, we need a voice that sounds like this.
Oh, well... They all feel obscure in the moment, don't they?
Just anything that you can think of, we've done that, like in the room. I mean, and it really is ridiculous. I teach a workshop for kids for voice acting. We have a lot of fun, and we always do Walla. Do you all know what Walla is? Yeah, so if you don't know, it's like a group in a room doing sounds of something. So it could be like a flock of birds flying away, or it could be dinosaurs attacking. But it could be anything, and the weirder it is that you can imagine in your mind, like we have done that. Probably, and that is our job. Like it's so bizarre. Like cows in outer space mooing, or like then they turn into chickens. Like it's just so weird. And any of those things, like we've done it. And you don't even, it doesn't even faze you anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No, I've done all sorts of. I've done like cat demons, mewling because they're backing off, like
yeah. But then you get a direction. It's like, oh no, like they're more scared, or like it's just it makes no sense. It's so weird.
I think that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a kind of this might be a weird question. So I was watching like Madagascar and The Croods and some other animated movies, and my brother-in-law and I were talking about this, how our flights arrived. So Robin Williams, going back to him, was one of the first A-list actors to start voice acting, and then we started seeing a trend of like Nicolas Cage in The Croods voicing that character, or just A-list actors voicing those high-profile roles. What are your reviews on that? Do you feel like that's like just preferential treatment, or just I know it's kind of, I don't want to ask a like
Political question?
yeah, I know it's kind of weird. I was wondering, I'm like, how do y'all feel about that?
Obviously, I think any of us would love to have the part, you know, but I think it's an inevitability of the industry ultimately to look at what ways there are to create more box office draw.
Okay.
And an A-list actor in your film is going to do that.
That's true.
So, you know, for as much as, of course I would have loved to have a shot at the lead guy in The Croods. That would have been a great audition process for me. But, you know, I get that. That's fine. I also don't get to audition for, like, you know, the Heath Ledger role in Dr. Parnassus. I get to be paramedic 1, you know, like that's just the sort of the nature of the business as far as I can tell, so.
I remember when that started happening, because I was working in the industry, and I remember when, you know, famous big names started getting these roles, and I was a kid, and I just thought, oh, no. And now I'm like,
I mean, it's important to hear voices that you recognize as well, at times. And so, I mean, Eddie Murphy's voice is like, Donkey, like, just right away I was like, okay, I know who that is, right? And so that's, I think there's like a good and a bad and a mean to it, right? Of course, it's like, wait, that's my job. Like, what are you doing?
Sometimes I feel like when you get that recognizable person in a role, like I think Eddie Murphy as Donkey is fantastic, and I really can't imagine anybody else doing it. But sometimes though, and I can't think of a really good example off the top of my head, but sometimes I'm like, I just keep hearing the actor too much in it. You know, somebody, I don't know, I can't think of anything.
Typecast,
And I would rather hear a character in it, and I just keep hearing, I'm too busy listening to, oh yeah, that's a movie star.
Yeah, I agree.
You were talking a little bit about auditions. You mentioned that, like, oh, that would have been great to audition for. Do any of you have, like, specific audition rituals or where you prepare for auditions?
I think it's a bit different for every part.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do I make a person, right? And so then I get hand gestures. Like, Sapphire shows has a lot of hand gestures. And dresses a certain way. So if I don't dress that certain way, then I can't fall back into it because I have to make a world around it. And then I just think about, like, oh, what did you eat this morning from that person, and different things like that, and age groups, and like their friends. Kind of go a little deep sometimes. Sometimes a little too deep. Sometimes, you know, but yeah, it kind of just helps you to drop into it. And that's the type of things that help me. Of making the person. Yeah.
I don't really do much. I've spoken about this a little bit in the past, and I like to just make sure that I don't over prepare, because it's really important to go into the room and be super flexible. And I've seen a lot of people kind of get into that position, and they've prepared so much to the point where they can't change. Because sometimes you get in and you have a description, and you get in there and they're like, oh, by the way, that's totally wrong. The age is different. They're British and this and this and this, and it's just totally different. So for me, I just kind of keep it loose and.
Yeah, I guess the thing that I always do is focus on choices, maybe more than voices.
Okay. Well, speaking about auditions, any advice on how to, like, I guess, shake the demons, as they would say, to like not be as nervous before doing a performance? Anything?
Do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. You're nervous because you care, right? So.
Yeah.
I go in there shaking. They don't know. I don't know.
No, that's the only way around that. Because sometimes sometimes there'll be an audition that I'm like, I really, really want this. I still get really nervous for those, and the only thing you can do is just do it and do it and do it until that just becomes kind of background noise.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. A quick check. So when will the Q&A for the audience be prepared? Just want to double check with our tech staff here. I guess they're still deliberating. Well, okay, we'll keep asking some questions.
So with just kind of looking at more of a focus on My Little Pony and whatnot, are there any ponies in the show that you've seen and been like, I would have done this pony maybe a little bit differently? No.
I often see ponies and think, oh yeah, I would have done that differently, but that doesn't necessarily mean I would have done it better.
Right.
So
And you may think that you would have done it differently, but it's at the end of the day, it's not your choice.
Yeah.
Right?
not really.
You have to follow what production and the direction team want. So that's another thing. We get a lot of great questions about kind of like plots and the way that things go, and we have a little bit of liberty, but really we're there to kind of be molded and directed. So that's things that people forget a lot of times.
There are parts that I've done for My Little Pony that I wish I'd done differently.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
Me too.
Yeah. Sometimes I've tried to do it differently and they just don't let me.
Yeah, how much can you like go off the beaten path as far as script goes and improv?
Not very far.
Not very far? Not very
They
far.
will bring you
Depends.
back,
Yeah, it
though.
depends.
Yeah. Like they'll let you a little. Like I've gone far, and they're like, don't do that. Okay. And then they gave me another reference. I was like, oh, okay, more like that, and that always helps. But I've definitely been told like, you can't, you're doing too much, and you bring it back because it's not about you. That's the thing you just have to keep in mind. It's not about you.
Yeah, I improvise sometimes and they're like, no, Peter, your line is yup. Please just stick with that. That's true.
Any favorite writers from the show staff that you prefer? Like, oh god, it's M.A. Keaton Rogers, or oh god, it's M.A. Larson. I don't want to read this.
I like Polsky a lot, but I like a lot of them a lot. So.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I think I heard this question come up at a previous convention, and I thought it was interesting to consider, because sometimes, like for us, we do YouTube work, but then it's like, oh, it'd be great to be like an artist or try something else. Is there anything that you guys have ever tried doing, like maybe writing or anything else maybe on the side?
You're a boxer, I understand. Is that right? Yeah.
I'm retired. I'm retired. I'm a retired amateur boxer. Let's remember that, retired. Because I've seen some of you being like, okay, let's go. But yeah, I do a lot of random things, honestly. Like I DJ and I do motion design and interactive creative work and act outside of voice as well. Yeah, so it's just, I think it's important if you can take different parts and kind of mold them together, right? And so this is one of the areas that's allowed me to do that and one of my creative outlets. And I'm so thankful for it that they're like, okay, you can come in. Because like you guys were saying, I mean, some people do so many voices, so it's not easy to jump in because all of them are so talented. So when you get let in, you're like, yes, I'm in here. And then you try to get more stuff. And like you were saying, you see other roles that, oh, maybe I went out for that, but that person did it. And I'm always impressed by what was chosen, actually. I'm like, I didn't do that. I know I didn't do that. So, yeah. So that's the thing, is that it's just another area for me creatively. But I do a lot of random stuff. I don't know. I have some of you online, and I've interacted with some of you online. And, yeah.
Cool. I teach piano, and I play the piano. And I am an engineer by training, but I don't do that. Nor do I want to.
What kind of engineer?
Civil engineering.
Yeah.
And I also do other acting, on-camera acting, and I've done some stage before as well. And I'm an award-winning comedy writer, so I also do that.
What comedy?
I wrote for a show in Canada called Point Blank many years ago now. That's the one that I won an award for. Which was 13 episodes of a parody of Dateline, basically.
Really? Yeah. Not bad. Now, I know y'all are from Vancouver, except for, Rena, you're from Brooklyn.
Well, I mean, I moved on. I'm Canadian. I know. It's
Oh.
crazy. I know. They can't send me back. I'm also American as well. But I lived in Vancouver. That's how I got onto My Little Pony. I was born in Nova Scotia, so I'm an East Coaster. I know. I've moved a lot. We are not in the mob. And
That's what they all
asking me
say.
that, right? We're not, yeah. They're like, why did you move so much? Because we started out in Canada and then moved up and down the East Coast. I think we've counted it to I've lived in 30-something different
Oh,
places.
wow.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know if that's even impressive. It's kind of scary, isn't it? It's like, oh, you get that bored? No, you get kicked out of your dorm. That's what happens every semester. Or every year.
Every month
Every
and a half.
month. They kick us out on the streets. No. Oh God forbid. No. So every school year you have to move out. So then you get to a new address and whatnot. Because I went to NYU for undergrad, and then I did business. Just so random. And then I went to the actor studio, so I had to find another place to live twice. Yeah, it's not sounding good. So I've just moved a lot, but I'm actually, now I made my way back to the West Coast, and then I went back to Brooklyn. So that's the place I've lived the longest, so I just say I'm from Brooklyn. It's easier. Yeah.
Now, knowing a couple people who do some voice work in the community, in the fandom, we hear some of them sometimes have special diets that they'll eat before certain roles or anything like that for you guys, where it's like either don't eat this or I do eat this beforehand?
The only thing that I can think of is sometimes dairy can be a little bit of an issue with your voice, with phlegm and that kind of thing. So sometimes avoiding dairy early in the day for me.
Yeah, drinking beforehand, I wouldn't do.
No, that doesn't help out.
Doesn't help. No.
Yeah, and I mean, smoking is
Bad?
really
Not
bad.
good for that.
It's really bad.
Yeah, you don't do it.
Don't do it.
I just do hot tea and honey. Yeah, but then the no dairy and no sugar.
Yeah, no dairy.
Just only if it bothers you. Only if
Exactly.
you get like I just had this delicious coffee, but it was super creamy, and I can feel that right now. Like,
Yeah, and it's fine to sit here and talk into a microphone
Yeah.
for an hour, but when you're doing a 4-hour session of like intense chatter, like that,
Yeah.
you don't want that.
I'm sure you guys avoid pneumonia too, like the plague.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, you don't want to have that. You
Those
don't
are
want
bad.
to
Those
eat
are
any
the
pneumonia.
well,
I've been cutting it out of my diet. So.
I know, it's tough.
Delicious pneumonia to grandma.
that's another thing that sometimes I feel a little bit crazy, but it's really bad to get sick, because the way that our job works is that we're not on kind of, we don't have a salary or anything. It's, as you go in is when, you're working, and only when you're there. So sometimes if you land a part in something and you get sick and you can't do it, they'll call their second choice, and that's gone for you. So getting sick is a huge problem. So at a convention, we ask, if you're not sick, please don't go in for a hug or a handshake. I know it sounds crazy, but for us, that's our livelihood. And for me, that's something I've had to be really careful about with piano lessons. I have a really strict policy. Like, if you're sick, there's no lesson. It's just not worth it for us and what we do. It's so important. And there's no such thing as a sick day for us. A sick day is, it's on your own time, and you're going to be losing money, or if you can't audition, then you don't have a chance at that part. So it's quite serious for us.
Cool. A lot of hand washing then, imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not germaphobes. We're just trying to protect ourselves,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
That's why we all have hand sanitizer on our autograph tables, right?
Yeah.
Because every 10 minutes.
See, I felt offended when I first met you all. And they put gloves on. I'm like,
Well, we just didn't like the look of you.
you sound like my ex-girlfriend.
I didn't say that.
That's excellent. So,
Are we going to be able to get some
Yeah,
audience
what's
questions?
happening with the
'Cause
audience
I bet
questions?
you guys have questions, do you?
we haven't set that up. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
we were waiting
Yeah,
on
we-
them. All right.
Yeah,
Somebody's excited.
While they're getting set up, Ray's, I believe you have one more question.
Yeah. While they're setting this up, Peter, you mentioned 4-hour session and
Yeah.
doing that. I know that for some jobs, it's like you have to go until the job's done. Others, they say you can only work for this many hours. Do they kind of have a rule in place, like you can't be in or do voice acting for a certain amount of time? Like they're like, okay, we hit our 8-hour mark today, or do they sometimes keep you guys in for a long time?
I think my experience is that they do everything that they can possibly do to keep you within a certain set of hours. I mean, we're unionized performers, right? So all of those things are structured in the union.
Okay.
So after a certain amount of time, then we have to go into overtime, and we get paid,
Right.
More.
Have you had a longest session?
I have had longer sessions, but they're usually fairly rare, I imagine. In radio commercials, I find that that's more common.
Yeah, for
to go to
commercial
overtime.
stuff, I think. With voice, I mean, I've finished mine and then just been in the room and just been excited because I was like, that was my first one and I was so hyped. Like, you can stay. I was like, okay, and I just stayed for the whole time. I was just sitting there because it's just fun too. Yeah. And then you can do other things too because you have Walla and stuff like that. But like Peter was saying, everything's worked in by the union. But for commercial, I mean, wow, those are long sometimes. And you're saying the same word, butter.
Yeah.
Butter.
I was the Pillsbury Doughboy on the most recent Pillsbury Doughboy ad where they gave him a pair of pants. I don't know if you saw that. But I go, and I go, and I think that took them about 9 hours.
Jeez. One more time, Peter.
Exactly. Could you do it again and sound a little happier? Okay.
By the way, folks, if you want to, go ahead and start lining up in front of the mic to ask questions.
Kids first. Kids first.
Kids first, please. Be kind to the kids. And a nice, calm fashion. All right. So we are lining up and getting ready. So how about this weather, by the way? What is this El Nino I've heard so much about?
El Nino? So we're getting our Q&A line ready to go.
How's it going?
Work on and we go in, and they need approval.
And we're getting ready for our first question.
Shocked. I've never been
The crowd is tense. The suspense is building. And our first question is up.
If you were a pony in My Little Pony, what pony would you be?
Oh, like if we were in there? Like an existing pony?
Yes.
Oh.
I would like to be my own pony, but I don't think I would. I'm not quite right for that. I'm a little bit lazier than he is.
Maybe Rainbow Dash because she's so awesome.
I'd still be my pony.
You'd still be your pony?
No, that's good.
She gets to travel a lot, so much so you don't see her all the time. She's traveling all the time.
She's traveling.
Yeah.
Alas, I think I'd probably be Mr. Cake.
Yeah.
So I could eat cake.
How about you? What pony would you be?
I don't know.
I don't know. See, it's a tough question.
The tables have turned.
I mean, possibly Scootaloo. I
Oh,
don't know.
cool.
Right on. Thanks very much for your
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
I have to stand on my tiptoes. So, if you were
He's going
like,
to shorten it for you here.
Okay,
Just go ahead.
thanks.
Let that happen.
If you were to individually write like 3 different episodes for the show, what would happen in those episodes, and who would the main characters be?
Well, again,
Is this collaborative? It's a collaboration, right?
is it a collaboration or each of us writing our own?
It's up to you, I guess.
Let's collaborate, guys.
Well, there was a comic that was written. I've always had this idea that I'd like to see more of Big Mac's internal life, and they wrote a comic that basically did that, where he had to get across town, and it was just all his internal dialogue. And I've often thought that would be a great episode, and so it would feature me a lot.
Win-win.
I think a really good episode would be one about Angel Bunny and just like all the mischief he gets up to. Because I feel like he does a lot of really naughty things that we don't know about. Because I
would just come in one of their episodes. I just like to pop up. I would, and then add that way. I don't know, that's really hard. I have to think about that. That's good. That's a good question. What would you do?
Oh, wow, okay.
There you go.
The tables have turned again.
I don't know. I personally just want to see Sunset Shimmer get back into Equestria.
Cool, thank you.
My name is Laura, and were you guys originally gonna voice another character?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So when I auditioned for Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Twilight. But then it just it turned into, and I auditioned for them kind of not really ever expecting to be doing 2, and then they called me back for those 2 for another audition. So for me, it was kind of always those 2. Does that answer your question?
I mean, it was always Big Mac for me.
Bye, Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
Hi.
My name is Katya, and has there ever been a character you have voiced before, but you can't do it anymore, and you keep on trying to do the same voice, but it's just not the same?
Oh, wow, what a
That's a
great
really good
I know,
question.
that's a good question.
I don't think so for me. Because I started doing this as an adult, so I think most of the voices that I have ever done, I can still do.
I started as a kid, but my range has not changed very much. So, yeah, no, I think I could still do anything.
Yeah, that hasn't happened to me either, because I started as an adult as well, and I mean, I definitely I've auditioned, and like you were saying, I was sick, and my voice was gravelly, but I was pushing through it because I did voice exercises and opened the back of my throat and whatnot, and then they booked me for something. I was like, okay, how do we recreate that? So that can happen.
Yeah,
that's not
true. That's really
you have
true.
to be
If you're
careful.
sick,
Yeah, and you don't want to. And that's so I have like a thing. I get excited and my decibels go up. So I have to watch myself like a week before. Just in general, I've had to just stop yelling. That's basically how that goes. But yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, mine is, what is one of the hardest or weirdest voices you've had to do?
You know what? This is probably a lame answer, but I find it hard when I go in for something and they say, just be you.
Oh yeah.
Especially like, it's easy to talk as myself, like I am right now. This is what I sound like. But when you're reading something off the page, and it's not something you would say, I find it hard to be me.
Particularly with advertising, I think it's really hard because they often do this. It's almost the same note where they say, just do it like you're telling your friend, right? Which I would never tell my friend, hey, have you seen the new Subaru 14X? It's, I just wouldn't talk like that to my friend. And so then, then they say, just do it like yourself. I don't know, I can't.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. I recently had one that was it was too open, and they weren't specific. Like, they were specific and said island, and I was like, oh, like Jamaican or Trinidadian? No, they're talking about like Fiji, and that's really different.
That's really different.
That's
yeah.
right. And so then I was like, okay, track it back, and then I ended up doing like a Jamaican Fijian accent, and it wasn't really good, and it was really like tight in here, and my whole jaw was really tight the whole entire time, and it was very difficult. And then I didn't get it, and I was like, I'm not even surprised. I don't know what island I was on anymore. Like, that's hard, and I wouldn't have been able to recreate that ever. Yeah, I was like, I'll be right now. I don't. So that is difficult when they're not specific enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is more often than you think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi, my question is, if you were a pony in Equestria, what type would you be?
Alicorn. Princess.
Not big one. I like Luna.
Thanks.
Somewhere out there, Larson's smiling.
He's eating corn cob.
So my question is, can you guys imitate each other's ponies?
Yep.
Yay.
I can't. I don't know. I heard him try.
Say,
Peter's.
yup.
Yep.
And now say,
Yay.
and now say, what is it?
Okie dokie Loki.
Yeah.
Okie dokie Loki. Okie dokie.
My voice isn't good. I do other weird stuff. I can't do that.
All right. There you go. That's the best we got.
I know. I need to open some, right?
All right, so what was the best episode in season 5?
All of them. Can I get an audience? Is this like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'd like to go to the audience. I'd like to.
My favorite was the Orchard Blossom episode. For me personally, I thought that was a lovely episode, and I actually enjoyed a lot of. There was a bunch of discussion about it afterwards, and I enjoyed that. And And I enjoyed the chance to speak.
Was the quartet episode in season 4?
No, that was it. The Ponytones was season 4, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I like that one.
That was a nice one.
I like the Orchard Blossom one because we were speaking about that. I really like that and just what happened as a result. So, yeah.
Oh, and here's my Fluttershy impression.
Yay. Oh, nice. Very good.
Just took my job. Hey.
I like that you did the little knee walk together.
Good intro.
Hi.
Hi.
So, out of the whole just series, who was your favorite My Little Pony?
Favorite pony.
Favorite pony.
My own.
Yeah, right? Does that mess up if you keep saying that? I like my pony a lot. I do. She's fun. Yeah, I like her.
I like mine too.
Which one?
Both. All of them.
I like both and all of mine too.
I love mine. What's your favorite pony?
Derpy.
Okay.
Good one.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
If all of you guys got a chance to improvise on the show, would you guys do what would you do with it? The chance.
Ooh.
Anything. I mean, what are the limitations on this improvisation we're doing?
There's nothing.
It's like you can go everywhere too.
Well, who knows where we'd end up? That's the beautiful
Ponies
thing.
on the moon.
Right?
That's how episode 100 happened.
So you wouldn't try selling a Subaru during the episode.
No. Thank you.
What's your guys' favorite generation of My Little Pony?
This one.
Yeah.
Friendship is magic.
Yep.
Of course.
What about you?
Probably the Friendship is Magic.
But honestly, like the vintage ones, because when I was growing up, I think they're so cool just to see the evolution. So, but I love this generation. I like my costumes. I'm sorry, it's really good. Yeah.
Good costumes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa, good maneuver. Well done.
Expertly done.
Ninja skills.
Hi. If you could be any alicorn princess in the show, which princess would you be?
I don't know.
I haven't thought about that.
Luna is pretty cool.
Yeah, I really still like Luna.
Luna.
A lot. We were just saying that earlier. It's like, I like Luna. I do. I do.
Princess Big Mac.
Hey, wow. What's your favorite?
Hard question.
The answer is Princess Big Mac.
Thank you.
I got this. Hello again.
Hello.
Okay, so my question is for all three of you. When you first started actually doing the voices for MLP season or Generation 4, how difficult was it to originally get into your characters and really figure your voice out?
Oh, that's a good question.
My audition was one of these auditions that sometimes happen where the audition is 15 minutes before the session. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to get into it. It kind of came immediately and naturally to me.
The character descriptions for this particular show were, I think, the best I've ever seen for anything I've ever auditioned. They were so detailed. Lauren really knew what she wanted those characters to sound like. So when I read those descriptions, the character that I was just drawn to first was Pinkie Pie, because it said that she had a high-pitched voice and she spoke really, really fast. And I thought, that's me. That was just kind of something that comes really naturally to me. And then I thought, okay, for Fluttershy, I'm going to try and just keep her soft. And when I auditioned for them, they didn't sound like what you have heard on the show. They were more probably closer together. And then what happened is they said, okay, we want you to try doing both of these. Let's try and separate them from each other even more. So Pinkie Pie was even higher pitched and even faster, and Fluttershy had to be really, really shy and quiet. So that's kind of how it came to be.
I'm glad you said that about the detail, because that's actually what helped me. And that was my first thing, my first voice audition. I had just moved to Vancouver at the time, and it was right after the Olympics, which was insane. So I was just getting thrown into everything, and they had me go to a red carpet. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And then I had this, and it was like my first 3 months there, and so the detail was really important, and that really helped me. And like Andrea was saying, it was not the same. It's definitely evolved, and you have direction, which is really great, so it's been toned down. But I just went to Michael, and we just made characters. I have had different auditions and whatnot, and just in general, I have a list of names, and I just name different names, and then I'll say this name, and then that voice will come out. So I had to, she's kind of my Beverly voice, and so that's kind of where that came from first, and then she evolved out of the Beverly voice and had all these hand motions and stuff like that. But yeah, that was the detail for the description. I had two very iconic people, and that was pretty sweet. I'll say that. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Hello.
Just hope you're enjoying your stay in America's finest city in San Diego.
Definitely.
My question is for the actors is, how many times you have to say your favorite quotes at every panel, like Big Mac's Yups or Fluttershy's You Rock Woohoo, or,
Lost count. Like it's a lot.
A lot?
This is my first time.
What was your first time? What have you done so far?
I did Sensation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the one time?
Just the one time.
So far once for you.
Once. I've had one.
Should we make it two?
Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah.
All right. I guess if I have to start doing, I just have to get the hand movements going, and I have to talk like this, because Savoy has to get a sensational. Ow! But I really like 5, 6, 7, 8. But bam! I like that one.
Hey, keep up good work, guys. You rock.
Thank you.
First off, Andrea, thank you for yesterday's question. And second off, what would it sound like if each of your characters were enjoying their time here in San Diego?
Yup.
Okay, it's so fun here. There's so many cupcakes to eat. Yum, 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 yum. Let's go. It's fun. Let's have a party. Oh, I've seen a lot of animals while I've been here. I've seen birds, and oh my goodness, there's a zoo here. Yay.
Oh, well, I've been having the most grand time. They picked me up yesterday in a Lincoln Classic town car. And I just loved it. It was wonderful. Yeah, they've been treating me very nice. Sapphire is very, very excited.
This question's for Peter and Andrea. For the episode 100, Slice of Life, how did you get to voice the Doctor and Bon Bon? Did they just pick you, or did you have to actually audition for Peter to compete against Brian Drummond or something?
Oh, because that never happens, right?
No, never happens. Brian and I are never in the same, except always. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm really thankful to have been in episode 100, because I actually we're on hold for certain record dates, and I was released. So they said, we don't need you this day, which is always really sad. And then it was closer to that they said, come on in. And I didn't really know what for until I think just a couple of days before. And I had no idea really what to expect. So it was fun. Yeah.
They told me the week before, I guess I was in, and Jim Miller took me aside and said, so we'd like to maybe have you come in next week to play the Doctor character. The only thing is, we might also try and have David Tennant come and do it. So we just don't know how that's going to go. So I came in and I tried to do my best David Tennant, because I thought if that's my competition, if I'm gonna lose it to somebody who sounds like David Tennant, it'd be pretty cool if it was David Tennant. But I guess I don't know what happened with that. If that just never came to fruition, or if they just liked what I did enough, or he said no, or I don't know what the story is with that. But they stuck with what I did, and I'm grateful for that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And just so everyone in line knows, we have just under 10 minutes, so we're going to try to get through as many of the questions as we can. And for the audience, at the very end of the panel, we're going to be selecting some raffle stuff.
We're calling Bridget up on stage for that. So
yeah.
But until then, let's get through as many questions as you possibly can.
We'll try and answer more quickly.
Yeah, short answers.
Okay.
Hello again. Kind of a follow-up question from yesterday. I had asked if you saw Bronies coming. General consensus was no. What was your initial reaction once you found out about us, and how serious we took the show in Fandom?
Well, our director, Jason, told us about it in studio, and we didn't believe him. So that was the first reaction. I think you have to see it to believe it. And then now the reaction is just, for me, just really grateful. It's amazing. I love meeting all the different kinds of fans and people, and it's incredible.
I have a slightly different story, but I echo what you say.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree as well. I mean, I didn't know. You guys found me, so I was like, it was real quiet. Then I was like, I'm minding my business. I was like, oh snap! And then honestly, it was Twitter. My Twitter account went up. I was like, who are these people calling me by my name? And then, but it's been so much love, so I appreciate all of you. So yeah.
Well, thank you, and I'm sorry, no lay this time.
Still have it.
Okay. If you could voice act any MLP villain, which one would you want to do?
Sombra, I think.
I like those dogs that eat the jewels. The ones that steal all the jewels. That eat the dogs.
The diamond dogs?
Yeah. No, the dogs.
Changelings.
No, the dogs.
Diamond
you remember?
dogs.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah,
Diamond
the
dogs.
Yeah, I like that. They're nasty. Lee was doing those. Like, they're so gross.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to do something like that.
I don't know. Thank you.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi Peter, Andrea, and Rena. Remember me?
Yes, I do.
What's my name?
Oh.
Hey, Matt. That's like real hard.
I can't see.
It's Keanu, right?
Ah, see, I remember you.
That was a good question.
I got it now.
There we go.
Okay,
But
thanks.
my real question is, if My Little Pony Friendship is Magic were to end before the year of 2020, would you rather continue doing voice acting or just moving on with your personal lives in the nearby future?
Well, My Little Pony isn't the only show we do necessarily, so I think I would continue to voice act in whatever I happen to get between now and 2020, which I hope is a lot of things.
No. Get it out there.
Likewise.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
Very good answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Do you have any favorite new characters in season 5?
Well, the Doctor.
You know, like Tree Hugger, Coloratura, Moon Dancer, and Starlight Glamour. Those other characters.
Oh.
I don't know.
One that I remember was Goth Pony. Doing that one was really fun.
Oh, I like the pest control pony. I like doing him. It was fun to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. So my question is there any audition that you can think of quickly that you didn't get but wish you got?
Yes.
About 1,000.
Million.
Yeah. What's the first one that comes to mind?
Picture perfect. Oh. But Kathy killed it. So, but and when I heard what she did, I was like, yeah, what? I don't know what I was doing. I didn't know. But then so that's the one that I was like, oh, I wanted that so bad. Then I didn't get it, and I was like, oh, thank goodness I didn't get that. Because I just felt like she executed it better and understood it more than I did. Because it was just coming from a different place. But that's the only one that comes up to mind.
Ultimately, I try to forget the ones I don't get.
Same. You have to. You'll go crazy if you don't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a negative thing would be to focus on the ones that didn't come to pass. And I don't know. I always try and be positive.
Of
So.
course. Also, with voice, the schedules you have no idea what's going to happen. So right afterwards, you just forget it.
Exactly.
Immediately. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so from my understanding, to get into the film industry, you need to start with either short student films, festivals, you do commercial and print, submit yourself to 3 main websites. So in order for you to get your foot in the door through the voice acting industry, what did you guys do? Or what happened to you?
Oh, well, for me, it was just a question of, landing the right agent, I guess. Finding somebody that represented on camera as well as voice acting. And just knocking on the door after that and just trying to figure out what it was that they wanted from my voice, and just trying and failing. I guess there's a lot of failing that you have to do before you'll succeed. And that, that sounds sort of awful, but it really is some of the best advice I ever got, is just to be aware that that's what's going to happen. Because you have to learn from that failure and rejig whatever it is you're doing to move yourself forward, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not being particularly
articulate. You're correct in that. I mean, everyone's journeys are different too.
Yeah.
You have to remember that.
Yeah.
Right. So, for me, my background it's like having strong training, right, beforehand, because I don't know if there's always this kind of like proverbial foot in the door type of thing, but it's really you're as strong as like your talents are and how much you hone them and work at your craft, right, which is what all of us do. So you can submit your things and whatnot and wait, but you should also be working on the things for yourself, things that enrich you and your craft every day in whatever way that is. Maybe it's going for a walk and observing the sound of the wind or the way that the air feels on your skin, like all little detailed things, because you can use them later on, or just like relaxing. Like that's something that's really big for me, is being able to attain relaxation. And that's just from the method, I would say, background, but I just think that training is something that people take for granted at times and think, oh, I'm just going to be funny, or I'm just going to use all my talents. But you have to work on those, just like you would work with sports or cooking, any of your things. Just work on them, and then you'll be secure in like how good you are, and that'll propel you,
Yeah.
Well said.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We have a few minutes left until the panel's over, so we're going to start a lightning round. So very quick questions with very quick answers.
Okay.
And here we go.
Okay.
Hello. My question is, do any of you watch Steven Universe? And if you do,
This guy does.
which is your favorite gem?
My favorite gem, Garnet.
No.
What Peter said?
Well,
Yeah.
Peter knew. This is a question to test your memory.
Okay.
Do you remember doing a role back in 2004? Well, a few roles back in 2004 for a video game called Dawn of War.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Can you?
Orcs is the bestest.
Yes. You pleased me.
Here we go.
You got it.
Hi.
Peter, can you do Smoopy Doo?
Snoopy Doo!
Ironic, this is actually just the right height for me.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Anyways, as you guys pretty much know your characters the best, you've been their voice actors for years. Has there ever been a line, regardless of what was said in the script, that you just wanted to say as part of the show?
Yes, but I'll be darned if I could remember what it would have been. There's been at the times actually even recently I remember there was something that I really wanted to say and they said no.
As which one?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I remember there was I feel like it was in the 100th episode that there was an exchange that Brian Drummond and I decided we were going to do, and they loved it and they recorded it, but I actually don't know if they ended up animating it or putting it in. I might have been cut in the end. But I don't remember. Again, for the life of me, I have no idea what it was we said. There were a couple of guards, I think.
It's hard to remember things because you have to realize that a year passes from when we record it, and in that year, we are not allowed to talk about it. So it's really hard to have this very specific recall that everyone wants us to have. Unfortunately, when you can't talk about something for a year, it's tough.
Thank you all for the questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Really good questions.
At this time, I'm going to invite Bridget and Ted on stage. They're going to help us with a raffle. Bridget, there she is.
Here I am. Daryl, you come up too. Okay.
Hey, so if you guys have been in the vendor hall, I'm sure you've noticed that we have been having these lovely raffles to potentially hang out with some voice actors. A few of them are up here, obviously. So I guess we'll get started with the one that isn't here, just to get that out of the way.
Sure. So we have 3 raffles going on. One is for a meet and greet with Ali Montanino-Wacking. So Vital Scratch and Octavia from the fan community, if you know those guys. One is for the meet and greet with the voice actors, which is happening later tonight, the private dining room. So if you guys would like to meet these guys, chat with them for a little while, may or may not have a beverage of some sort. And then the last one is for dinner at a luxury restaurant with the voice actors. There's only 2 spots left for this one. 7 for the meet and greet. And we've got 10 for Ali Monty and Wacking. And then Daryl's going to come up here and throw some t-shirts at you, probably.
Who here entered these raffles? Are you excited?
A bunch of people.
The chances are good, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So,
good luck, everyone.
Let's see how many actually we wind up getting for Ali Monty and Wacking, because if there's fewer than 10, they're all going.
There is not enough excitement going on for the raffles that are going on, especially considering I've obviously got t-shirts in my hand.
T-shirts?
Tiki shirts. Hey. Tiki shirts, right? Who wants t-shirt?
And actually,
I got another one on my shoulder.
And so actually, update, Ali Monty just kindly informed me. Yeah. Just kindly informed me that it's also with I Love Kim Possible a lot.
Nice.
And I just counted the tickets. But guess what? There's 10 of them, so you're all going to see Ali Monty and Wacking.
Victory.
So I'll say the announcers real quick, as fast as I can. Let's see. They all start 9032 613.
Oh.
600. To 611.
Perfect for me too.
Basically, if you have a blue raffle ticket, you won. 605.
Awesome.
602.
Cool.
604.
Oh, doesn't matter?
612.
Yeah.
603. 601.
Thank you.
And 609. So, if you have a blue raffle ticket with any of those numbers, you get to go have a meet and greet in the private dining room later today with Ali Monty and Wacking. Could you remind me of the time, James?
Yeah, so it's changed for 50 minutes later at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock in the private dining room off the hotel restaurant. So if you want to meet right there at 5 o'clock, you'll get to go to that meet and greet. So that's the first one. So round of applause for our winners. Okay. It's greater than 7.
It's greater than 7.
It's greater than 7. So this one, there actually is a chance. It's actually a real contest now.
Let's have the VAs maybe pick some out.
Ah.
There's so many. The winning ticket. The winning ticket number. Everybody pay attention to the number at the bottom of your ticket, underneath where it says Cointainer. 485-6820. 485. Yes!
Yay! 485-6819. 19.
It's the chef.
The man in the mask. He's a talkative one, that one.
Is this the last one?
No, there's.
Okay, no, I don't get that part. The winner of the prizes for 856810. Are you out there? 6810.
Who wants it?
6810.
I got 7. She put her hand up.
And we have. Oh, that's so nice.
You need to go to Vegas after this.
Great, and we will do the last 4. I will do the last 4 for the sake of time. So the next one is 4856813. Woo! Then 4856821.
You should go buy a lottery ticket.
All right.
Yeah, you should go buy a lottery ticket, Rena just said.
800 million.
All right. Okay, second to last. 4856824.
Okay, you can pick out my numbers.
You're a good man.
All right, and the last one for the meet and greet is 4856825.
Woo! There you go. There's your winning ticket. I don't know which one it is.
All right, great. All right, now we are on to our last raffle.
And real quick, if it's okay, just a reminder for everybody, at 3:15, autographs are going to be taking place, so mark your calendars.
Oh, and I'm about to do the kids event. So
That's right, kids. If you go over to the kids' room in the Corona room,
dance party.
we're going to have a dance party with Miss Rena. All right, last 2 for the exclusive, fancy, delicious dinner with these VAs. Let's get them to pull them out.
All right. Just a note for this one, it's actually off-site, so we'll even drive you over there. You can walk back. No, we'll drive you back too. The man in the suit over there has kindly provided his
Okay, this is a big
1970s
prize.
limousine to drive us back and forth.
3412759. The red ticket.
2759.
Is anyone actually surprised?
You rolled in luck.
Give the remaining 6, 2 to each of the VAs for them to determine the rest if.
Hold on, we've got
Okay, one more.
One more.
3 1
One second.
on the off chance that he
Oh.
does not have it.
3412760.
341
Is that you?
760. I won. How do we make this determination?
I don't know.
Fight to the death?
Maybe we should draw. Did anyone else? How do you get these? Does anyone else have a red ticket? You do?
Oh, so we should pick it again?
Adagio.
That's it.
You're in.
Should we pick it? Oh, so we just give it?
Or should we draw
Do
again?
you want me to draw again?
Should I give you the winning
I'll do it by
ticket?
fate. Then it's. Okay, I'm drawing
Draw
again.
again. Okay, sorry, Adagio. We'll draw again.
3412752.
That's this one.
Okay, sweet. Okay.
Okay.
You can just get 2 minutes.
That guy knows how to stack the deck.
6-1.
Just gonna get back in here.
6-1.
Gonna get.
6-3.
Okay, I got 2.
Hey!
We got a 3, 4. No.
Congratulations. So everyone who's going to the dinner, we're going to meet at 7 o'clock in the hotel lobby to drive you guys over there. All right, so meet and greet at 6, the private dining room. Eileen Monty meet and greet with Kim Possible and Nowacking. That's at 5, private dining room. And then 7 in the lobby to go to dinner with the voice actors. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you all for joining us. Have a great convention.